There is a lady by the name of Libby. Libby. She happens to be from Maine. I love Maine. Beautiful, beautiful state. She's in the state legislature. And by all accounts, Ms. Libby is a very talented, accomplished legislator. She has beliefs, as we all do. And one of her beliefs is that it is unfair to allow transgender women to play women's sports. In other words, Ms. Libby, I don't speak for her, but I've read her interviews. She believes it's unfair, fundamentally unfair, that it will destroy women's sports if transgender women, biological males who identify as transgender women, are allowed to play women's sports. And she has said so. In fact, she put up a Facebook post. And the Facebook post highlighted a transgender athlete who one year placed 5th, I think, in the pole vault, and then transitioned into, he placed 5th as a male athlete, but then transgendered or transformed into, or transitioned is what I'm trying to say, into a transgender woman and competed at the state level and came in first. She came in first. So when this individual was a biological male and competing, the biological male came in 5th in the state competition. The biological male transitioned into a transgender female and was allowed to participate by the officials in Maine in the pole vault in women's sports and came in first. Well, Ms. Libby thought that was really unfair, and so she posted a picture of the athlete, the transgender athlete, when she was a biological male, and currently when she has now become a transgender woman. She posted the picture. She didn't put any name, any phone numbers, any addresses, or any of that. She posted the picture of the athlete side by side before transitioning after. And here's what she said. We've learned that just 1 year ago, John, the transgender athlete, when she was a biological male, was competing in boys pole vault. That's when he had his 5th place finish. And then she went on to say, so all of this transpired in the last year with the full blessing of the Maine Principals Association. 2 years ago, she wrote, John tied for 5th place in boys pole vault. Tonight, John, now Katie, because John is transitioned into a transgender woman, tonight Katie won 1st place in the girls' Maine State Class B Championship. And Ms. Libby thought that was unfair. And so do many Americans. So do I, frankly. Well, Ms. Libby's in the state legislature. And her colleagues, Democrats, who are entitled to their opinion as much as Ms. Libby, who is a Republican, is entitled to her, they got very angry. They wanted to throw her out. They wanted to throw Ms. Libby out of the Maine legislature. They wanted to expel her, but they couldn't do it because that takes a 2/3 vote. So they said, we're not going to expel her. We're going to censor her. That only takes a majority vote. But in censoring her, which they only needed Democratic votes to do, they added conditions that Ms. Libby could no longer vote and could no longer participate in any legislative committees. I guess she just has to sit there. Well, that disenfranchises the constituents that Ms. Libby represents. And frankly, they kind of went through the back door when they should have gone through the front door in a transparent way. I'm not here to try to meddle in the Maine state legislature. Let me say it again, I love Maine. I think it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. And the way they handle their local politics is none of my business. That's not why I'm here. But I am here to say what Ms. Libby did, let me put it another way. Ms. Libby's belief about the fairness of transgender women participating in women's sports is based on science. It is. You may disagree with the science, and you may disagree with her, and if you do, you're entitled to do that. But Ms. Libby didn't just pluck this point of view out of thin air. A lot of Americans agree with her.